Greetings and salutations, Charlton66 here once again with another video. Going to talk about the Baltimore Comic Con, which happened just this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was a phenomenal show. I had a chance to hang out with Howler Mouse. He came up to hang with me at the show. We spent the weekend just digging through comic book bins, meeting celebrities, artists. Not really celebrities. For me, celebrities would be comic book talent, not the movie and TV people. But it was a phenomenal show. I had a lot of good things. It was funny. I had my sights focused on a few things and it didn't come to fruition, but I did get a couple of other things that I didn't think I was going to find, which is always good. Had the VIP pass for the whole weekend. Myself and Howler Mouse, Tim and I, we were there. He didn't get here until Friday night, so I had spent Friday there, just scoping things out, getting the lay of the land, so to speak. What's good about Baltimore, and I've never been to the other bigger shows, but it's year after year, it's almost everyone's almost in the same spot. So it's always good to get the layout and you get around to see what's going on. Friday, I got a couple good deals Friday. Part of the VIP package, you get in early. You get some variants. They did focus on Strangers in Paradise. Terry Moore, Strangers in Paradise. So this yearbook has different artists from the show doing their renditions of Terry Moore, Strangers in Paradise, which is it's a fun book to have. Again, it's part of the VIP package. Got that with the VIP. Like I said, here's the program from this year, which is the Liberty Legion. Liberty Brigade by Sean Chen, which I just love. They're public domain Golden Age characters, and I love the obscure Golden Age stuff. This is the program. And got the Baltimore Comic Con exclusive Faith, Dreamside, and the Lollipop Kids from Aftershock. I've not read these yet, so I can't tell you anything about them. Like I said, I'm just recouping myself from the weekend. I had a couple of things. One of the big things that I wanted to meet Bob Hall, and one of the things I did. Excuse me here. With one of the things I went to, I made a beeline for Bob Hall and had him sign my hardbound The Chaos Effect. His signature is right there, which I really did appreciate that. That was really cool. To meet him and to talk with him. And he had never been to Baltimore Comic Con before, and talking with him, he said he's coming back. He said it was a great show for him. A lot of enthusiasm from him and with the fans. So it was good to hear, you know, because Baltimore, like I said before, it's geared towards comic books and the creators. So I can't say enough about that. I know there's other Comic Cons that are geared towards that way, but I've not experienced those. So I've experienced Baltimore for over a decade now. So I was happy to meet him, and I got a commission of Shadow Man from Bob Hall, which you know, I really liked that. One of my favorite Valiant characters. Of course, Bob Hall was just enthusiastic to do the piece. It was great meeting him, like I said, and another creator that I'll try to put this back up. Another creator, of course, was Steranko, that I really wanted to meet, and I can't say anything bad about the experience. It was totally awesome. I got his signature on something I'll show in a minute, but the interaction with him was great. I mean, he acted like you were the only person there. That's why his line takes so long, because he just doesn't. He's got his handlers there that, you know, deal with the money and everything else, but you're not rushed through the line. He's there, and he makes eye contact with you fully, warm handshake. He really appreciates you being there, and you can tell it. Again, it's my only experience with Steranko, and I just can't say enough about it. It was like, you you were a long lost relative or a friend. I mean, it was like that, and he was glad to talk to you, and he took his time. You weren't, like I said, you weren't rushed. You didn't feel rushed whatsoever. He was a little late, and he thanked me for being patient in the line and waiting for me to get there, and this is the thing I got from him. And there was a lot of stuff there. I mean, he's really the cool guy of comic books. I mean, he's got the pompadour going on. He's got the cool jazz music playing in the background. I got Stan Getz playing on his little radio, and it was just, the atmosphere was there of he's known for his, well, for me, he's known for drawing the Shadow and the Pulp, characters, G8 and his Battle Aces on the paperback book covers, and being a big Pulp guy. And I love Doc Savage, is one of my favorite Pulp characters. I was able to get this from Steranko. It was actually Doc Savage, not in his torn shirt and jodhpurs, but in his tuxedo, ready to go on another adventure. And again, to Steve Regards Steranko, which I think is just a phenomenal rendition. I saw it. It took my breath away, because I've never seen Doc other than being torn or in his Arctic gear. Never seen him drawn in a tuxedo before like that. So I thought it was a great way, and I told Steranko that I thought it was cool that he drew him in a tuxedo, and he, talking about James Bama's version, and he didn't want to step on Bama's toes by drawing him in the same type of format of the torn shirt and the jodhpurs. So he wanted to do something different, which I thought the outcome is just awesome. But again, I can't say enough about Steranko. Phenomenal meeting him. And I'm a hypocrite only because I've never said I'll pay for a signature. Because I used to get stuff, I always get stuff personalized. So I never have paid for a signature, but this time I did pay. I didn't know it'd be a $20 autograph. I bought the print thinking the autograph came with the print, or to have him get it signed. And when they told me it was going to come to a total of $40, I didn't want to miss meeting him. I really wanted to talk to him and interact with him. So I did pay the $20, which was a lot to pay, but the interaction and the time spent, it was worth it. So like I said, I do recommend it. If you ever see him at a show, please, by all means, go up and talk to him. You won't regret it. Another person I went to, I needed to get a commission from, was Jim Calafiore. He didn't get a chance to get to my commission. He's going to have to mail it to me, so I'll be getting that in the mail. He's going to probably do it. He said he's going to try and get to it this weekend at the New York Con, so hopefully I'll get it soon. And another person that I always interact with, and it's always a great guy, as I mentioned him before on my channel, Steve Conley. I support him through Patreon on his Middle Earth webcomic, which is, I recommend it for anyone who's interested in some good medieval fun and adventures. But he's just a super guy, and part of the Patreon thing, at the end of the amount that you pledged, he was going to do a commission for you. And I'm a fan. Most people who watch my channel know I'm not really into the mainstream characters as much as I am with the Golden Age or obscure Charlton characters or the obscure Golden Age characters. So one of the things I had him do for me was a character from Hillman Comics called Zippo, and this was the commission I had him do of Zippo for me. He nailed it. There's not that many references for Zippo, but he nailed the character down pretty good. And all his claim to fame is he rides on these wheels, and he's got a little jets that propel him along on his wheels, and sometimes he'll overshoot his target and crash into a wall, or he can't stop in time, which I always thought was humorous. But it was funny because they did a panel on the Liberty Brigade, and Golden Age characters, and the conversation came up during the panel. I wasn't there for the panel, but Steve Conley was telling me this, was that they are talking about obscure characters, and someone actually brought up Zippo, and I thought that was kind of cool, and I had a good conversation with people about that, about you know, someone bringing up Zippo, and Steve Conley is actually doing a commission, which, you know, the synchronicity was there for that, so I thought it was kind of funny someone actually would bring up that character. So those were the commissions that I got done, and the autographs that I was looking for. Again, most of the creators that are there, I've either met them before, got autographs from them, or artwork. So I was really just looking for comics, and some of the stuff that I picked up. One of my bigger purchases was, again, I don't buy graded books, but I can grade a comic book. I don't need another company to tell me what the grade is, and I understand the purpose of CGC. You know, missing pages, centerfolds missing, restoration, all that type of good stuff. I get that. I mean, my eye's not that good to tell if it's professional restoration or not, and I understand why they're out there. But I like buying raw books. That's just how I am. But unfortunately, the books I was looking for and books I came across were graded. So one of the ones I did get that was graded, and I think I paid a pretty good price for it, was FF 52 3.5, but I think it looks a lot better than a 3.5. Again, it presents really, really well. You know, I was pretty happy with this. This is my first copy. I had one long time ago that was just ratty, that I bought for I think $1 in a bin back in the late 70s, early 80s. That wasn't that much, and I lost a long time ago. This was my first good solid copy that I had. I used to have a lot of the FF run, but I've traded it and sold them over the years. And another happy purchase that I did was Captain Atom 83 5.0, first appearance of the Ted Core Blue Beetle. I think this, again, is a nice solid copy. I got a good price on this as well. Those are the only graded comics that I bought. Like I said, I'm more into raw books, but when you're paying that kind of money for the FF52, it's still a good feeling to know that it's a solid copy. So, you know, I'll pay the premium in that case. And another thing about the show, a lot of signatures, back to the creators, a lot of them are charging this year, which is different from last year. Some were charging, if you get it personalized, it's free, which I think is a good policy. But people stand in line with stacks of books, stacks and stacks of books, and I just there, you know, it's like there's a long line, and here these guys sending stacks of books. Maybe that's the reason, I don't know. People are making money off the signatures. I get that, I understand it, but they were charging this year more than they were last year. So on to some of the other books I got, other than those two. One of the books I did scratch off, I only scratched off one book off my 2018 wish list, is Justice League 38, which I think is a nice white copy. That's going to be a two-part video because some of the books are just going to go past the 15-minute mark, and I don't want to hold everybody up on this. And again, I'm a big fan of Replicon. This is his first appearance in Green Lantern, Green Arrow number 108. Such a great character. It's like DC's version of Super Adaptoid, kinda, but not being a robot, but being an alien. And I got Blue Beetle. I can't remember what number this is, but it's a nice copy. Presents really well. The number is written off from January '62. Nice copy of Blue Beetle. Charlton book. Got a lot of nice Charltons. We were able to get some of those off my Charlton list. Danger. Number 14. Secret Agent, Spies, Espionage, and Intrigue. Nice copy. Kid Montana. And the circle's now complete. They've come back home. I told you in my last video when I did the Atlas video that I had the complete run of Vicky, which is a much harder Atlas comic book to come by. I got the 4 issues, the ones I traded years ago. I have got them back. They've come back. These are the exact issues I traded. The same dealer, Damien, I've dealt with, I traded these to him. I bought them back from him. So they've come back home. Here's Vicky number 1. Vicky number 2. Number 3. And these are very difficult to find. And Vicky number 4. So I was able to get those, very happy to have those back home. So I think that made the day, because I went back to him. I went up to him and I bought some other stuff from him, from Charlton's, and I was talking to him and asking if he had the Vickies, and he's like, "Yeah, I still have them," and I actually brought them to the show. So those are my exact copies. So I bought them from him initially, had them in my collection, traded them back to him, and now I have them back in my collection. But it was, like I said, I'm going to do a part 2 video with this. I don't want it to run very long. But me and Howler Mouse, we had a blast. He's very enthusiastic, as you guys know, and I feed off that enthusiasm as well. And he's getting me. I'll go with that later with my next video. Trying to get me on the Legion bandwagon. Be a Legion guy. I've never hardly read. I probably read maybe 10, 20 Legion comic books in my whole comic book reading career. I just never know where to go, where to start. Silver Age stories are the Silver Age stories. The continuity's there, but you can read a Silver Age story and get, beginning, middle, and an end. But the more recent stuff from the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, Tim has really, put me in that right direction, and he got me some Legion books, and I'll go over those in a little bit. Oh, not a little bit, but my next video, and some other stuff that I picked up. But yeah, Tim's enthusiasm, being there, again, I could feed off of that, and which was great. He's really knowledgeable with his books. We have not subbed to his channel, Howler Mouse. It was explained to me. I still don't know how to put a link in the description, but if I could, I would. But I think a lot of you guys know who he is, and we did a live video on his channel on Saturday night and last night. So if you have a chance, go check it out. We talked about the con, a little bit about what was going on, more so than what I've done now, because I'm trying to keep this. It's 18 minutes now, so I'm trying to keep this under 20 if I can. I'm gonna do a part 2. But it was a phenomenal con. I really had a great time. Like I said, getting my FF52, the Captain Atom 83, and of course getting my Vickies back, and getting the commissions that I did was great. Bob Hall was phenomenal. Like I said, I'm glad he felt at home. I felt he was at home there for him to come back next year, which I think is great. And I can have him do another commission, which I think will be really cool. But it was a fun time. Tim took a lot of pictures of cosplayers, so I'm sure he's going to put that on Instagram or his YouTube videos, or maybe the pictures that he took. I don't know what he's going to do yet. He just left here a little bit ago, so we had a blast the whole weekend, and he got some good deals. He knows where to look. He knows what he's doing. So it was fun to watch him in action. So it was a great time. But thanks for watching, and viewing the video. Like I said, I'll do a part 2 of some more stuff. That stack behind my shoulder there has got a lot of Atlas in this that I needed to complete the run, and those are some of the Legion books and some books that Tim hooked me up with that he's trying to guide me to the Legion of superheroes, the light of the Legion. So you guys take care, and I'll be back with you in part 2 in a little bit. Talk to you guys later.